Hello everyone, it's Red with RedDragonLeo.com, and today is November 30th, 2010. The market is looking extremely bearish still. Looking at this, you can almost make another MA out of it, these MA patterns. If you go up here and you go down here to the middle for the M, and then up here and back down to here for the right side of the M, and then we're starting, this move up would have been the left side of the A with a move, either another up move or then another move down. Could be an MA on it. It's hard to really tell for sure, but regardless, it is looking ready to break out at some direction. The charts say bearish. When we look at this and we see that it has been hitting and pierced it a few times here, once here, this 10-day moving average that is pointing down, and right now it has pierced the 50-day moving average twice and bounced back up from it. You would think that it would pop up, because this is a trend line down of resistance, and then this across here would be support, kind of making a triangle which would want to break up, but I don't see that happening right now. I mean, right now everything else is still pointing down. We are crossing the 50 here on the RSI, headed down on the daily. We are still pointing down here on the daily. We are still pointing down on the full stochastics and the slow stochastics. There's just no sign of this thing turning up, at least not until it takes another leg down. It just, if it goes against the trend and pops up tomorrow, it will be again a 100% manipulated move, because there's every technical aspect of this is showing that it should be moving down on pretty much all the time frames that I'm looking at, especially here on the daily. We look at the weekly. What do you see on the weekly? Well, you can see we're pointing down here on the RSI. Certainly we're not under 50 yet, so that would indicate that the next move down would only be a correction, and maybe not as deep as this one here was, simply because this one went well below the 50. So maybe it only goes down here to the 50 and bounces and comes back up. That's a possibility. So here we would go down and bang off of this 11-43-92 blue line, which is the 20 moving average, or possibly the 50 at 11-28-91. But you look here and we are sloping down. Again, I do not think that we are going to go straight down here without at least popping back up here and putting in a lower histogram tower. Maybe we go down here and just get one bar very, very close to the zero line, and then kind of dip back up and hold it to the rest of the year to give us our little Santa Claus rally into January, February, and then finally roll over to negative situation, negative area. So it might look similar to this right here, barely holding above the zero line and then finally dropping. And that's kind of really what I'd kind of expect to see here. But it does not have a bearish cross yet, but it is still pointing down. Same thing here, it's still pointing down. So this is your weekly. The daily we just looked at, it is still very bearish in everything I see. The ADX line is curling up, and whenever it curls up, it's going to give strength to one of these lines, whichever one's on top. Right now, the bearish negative DI line is on top, but that doesn't mean it's going to stay on top. It could. I mean, anything is possible. We've seen them manipulate this market against the trend many, many times. So, again, you've got this line of resistance here that's holding the market back on the daily, and then you've got this line of support. We're coming to a point right here within a day or so that it's got to break one way or another. It's got to pop up above it, or it's just got to pop down below it. This level's going to break or rise up. So at least for tomorrow, looking at the 60-minute chart, it looks bearish. Now, we've seen this happen many times before. We've seen incidents like where we would rise up like this, put in little bars like this, a little lower one, look like it's going to come down, look like it's rolling over here, look like it's rolling over here. This happened over here. Same thing. And it put in, this bear flag here. But then the next day they manipulated and it shot straight up. So, it's possible it can break out tomorrow. I mean, again, there's this line of resistance and anything is possible, but it doesn't look like it wants to. One of the big differences here when we were up here and getting ready to roll over is how deep the MACDs were. They were way down here at negative 7.5. So they really didn't have much further to go on the downside. So you almost wanted to believe that the bear flag should fail, because it was just so deep here on this 7.5 negative that it needed to go back up. But here we're now at negative 2.5. So, and here we're up above the 50, curling back down, as opposed to here we were down here just above 20, ready to go back up. So it puts you at a point where it could go either way. They could have some type of manipulation and curl this back up and pop this higher, or they could dip back down to negative 5 or negative 7.5. It's basically it's not as strong a signal for a possible up move as it was when it was really oversold here. Is it oversold here? Yeah, it's below zero is oversold, above zero is overbought. But how overbought or how oversold is the question. Here it's negative 2.5, so that's not near as oversold as it is here at negative 7.5. Same thing with up here at this overbought situation. It was very overbought there at positive 7.5, as you can see. So, but we're running into the same situation. We've got this down-sloping trend line it can't seem to get above, and we got this level of support right here. So they're getting to a point that within the next day or two, they got to pop, and they got to break one way or the other. We're still pointing down here on the longer time frame MACDs, the 65, 90, and 12, looking like it's possible to curl up at any time, but it's not really giving any indication of turning. It's only at negative 1, so it could go lower. I mean, up here we were at positive 5. So, it's just supporting the bear case right now, for now. Here, this, these support lines here and the support lines here, this one has held it in check. So is this one here. We did break down through it today, and so we're still, you can draw a line straight across here, and we're still kind of banging on those areas. I don't know how many more times it's going to bang on it before it drops. We still have the possibility of running back up here and hitting this downward sloping trend line. If it gets through that, then it could hit this one here. If it gets through that, then you can draw a straight line across here right at 1200. It has to get through. There's a lot of overhead resistance that it's got to get through here, and there's still a lot of fear out there in the market with North Korea and the pigs countries that needed to be bailed out. They don't know how much it's going to be, and there's still a lot of stuff out there that it doesn't look encouraging for a big move up. I mean, I won't say it's not possible, because I know it happens. It goes against the charts all the time. We've seen that many times. But this 30-minute chart is clearly up here in the overbought territory. It tried to fall back down here, and I guess because of the light volume, they was able to keep it afloat a little bit more, and it rolled back down here until the close. Same scenario here. It is right about probably negative 1 or something, still going up. And here it's above 50, curling back down. Here it could continue up. It could. Won't deny that it couldn't, but it looks like it wants to dip back down at least in the morning. So it just gives me the impression that we're going to have a flush out to the downside before we get a rally, because the 60's pointing down, the 30's pointing down. This one, the 15. It did the same thing, rolled over and started to point down, and it's at the 0 mark. So it's in any man's land. It could go up, it could go down. But right now, it's pointing down. So the 15's pointing down, the 30's pointing down, the 60's pointing down, the daily's pointing down, the weekly's pointing down. Everything tells me we should sell off. And of course the 5 doesn't have very much power, but it is already going down. Over here on the SPY, looking at the SPY, you can see we are still going down, and there's not any signs of it turning back up. So it's got to be of something powerful, some kind of really great news to get this market to rally. And we still have not had 3 legs down. We just had 1, and then a bunch of sideways chop, and we need a 3rd leg down, an ABC move, and then a rally. And so that's still very much needed for a healthy Santa Claus rally, in my opinion. You know, and here on Cobra's chart is showing that the Dow did break the support and dipped into below 11,000 twice here. So it's broke its line of support as opposed to the SPX, the spider. Over here we have got a confirmed move on the VIX up out of its Bollinger Bands here, and so it you know, it could have fell back, but it did not. It confirmed it is now up and out of it. So, you know, looks like it still wants to go higher. It's what it looks like to me. So the dollar is still moving up as well. It does not look like it's ready to die yet, and it's still going up. Where the dollar chart is, I'm not sure. Seems like Cobra's got it on here somewhere, but you look at Cobra's charts for it. But I think the dollar is got to run up to like about 80, 81, 82, if I'm not mistaken. It still can go a little further before it would hit some major resistance. That's what I'm saying. So anyway, I'm not sure where that dollar chart is. I'd have to go look for it. But everything that I see points to a down move tomorrow. Even the only thing that doesn't is the money from the POMO money, which is here. So this seems to be the only thing that could rally it. Right here, they're going to have $15 billion put into the market tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday. The market has not been reacting as positively with this POMO money, so don't expect it to be a huge rally. But if they flush out early in the morning, the first 30 minutes, if they flush out, then yeah, then this POMO money will give us a big lift into the rest of the week. It should. You know, today didn't have but 2.0 billion. 1.3 billion the day before, so it's been weak. You know, Friday didn't have much. That was Wednesday, I guess, or one of them. I'm skipping some days, but okay. But you get the message here. So I am just everything I see points to more down tomorrow, at least early in the morning, a possible flush out till these charts get oversold, and then we get a move back up. So, someone commented here on the YouTube videos wondering what I was talking about with the reptilians. To put that quite simply, when I started getting into the stock market and noticed how it was controlled with the fake prints, this was what really started me in it back in January of this year, when I didn't know that much about the market. I thought it was a free market. This print, a fake print, which played out to the T 3 weeks later on February the 5th. After that, I started following the fake prints and got deeper into it and seen it was controlled by the Illuminati. And then found out the Illuminati were reptilian, worshiping reptilian demons and stuff. So it gets pretty deep. So sorry if it's too deep for you, but stock market's controlled. Just keep it at that. So, all right, guys. Good luck, everyone.